Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be rating my 5-star reads. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because I've seen so many videos on this on YouTube and I thought it would be really cool, and especially because my friends have repeatedly dragged me for how I do my ratings. I was like, okay, let me do a little video on it. Okay, let's see, because this year I'm a little bit stingy. Okay, but before I was giving out 5-star reads like, you get a 5-star, you get a 5-star, you get a 5-star. I think out of like what, the 30 books I read last year, I think half of them was half of them was 5 stars. So yeah, I need to calm down with that. So I have my laptop in hand. I'll give you just a quick summary of the book and what my thoughts are on them. They're not going to be detailed, but it's just going to be like what I was thinking when I did the ranking and etc, etc. If you're new here, welcome. I am doing everything bookish. We might get into TV and film soon, but let's not worry about that one thing at a time, okay? I'm an ADHD babe, and I'm here for us to chit chat, here for us to have fun. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Check out my Patreon, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on TikTok, period. Let's get into the video. So there's 5 different categories. We have Infinity and Beyond. That is what I give when I feel like this is great, phenomenal work, right? This is beyond a 5-star, but I need to like, yeah, Infinity and Beyond is just up there. It's just like, if I don't put this in this category, like, what am I thinking? Next one is Period. Period is just like 5-star. That's where you're meant to be. Okay, you're not above that. You're not like phenomenal, but you're a 5-star read. You deserve to be there. So that's how we're doing that one. And then the next one is, I mean, if you like it, like, if you man do it, I'll do it. Okay, if it's 5-star to me, then that's what it is. But I know some people are not going to see this book as 5-star, but I'm standing on my decision, period. Okay, next one is, do you remember the time? Do you remember? Do you remember the time is just a category for where like I have no idea why I gave this book a 5-star or what is even going on in the book. So you're just gonna be there. And then the last one is Chow. So Chow is gonna be for the ones that you were smoking dick, okay, when you put this as 5-star. And I'm willing and ready to admit that. So let's let the games begin. List is Yellowface. I gave Yellowface 5 stars, but I have a feeling, I feel like I should have put because I don't know, I feel like it could have been a 4. You know, I don't feel like it could have been a 5. I think it should have been a 4 now that I think about it. So I'm going to put it in the I mean if you like it category, because it's like, it's not bad. Maybe I should have put an extra category, but we're too far gone now. It's not bad, but it's kind of like 5 stars. Like, it's a good book, but 5, like, I don't know about that. But I thoroughly really enjoyed it, and I think because at the time, what like I was starting to realize about publishing and just like the isms and why there's such an issue with diversity in publishing, that was why I gave it such a high rating, because I felt like it was really on the nose. I'm not Asian American, obviously, but there are other Asian American reviews that I did watch on YouTube, and they had a very different perception of it. It didn't sour my taste of the book, but it did like put things into perspective for me, where I realized, oh, I did let a couple things slide. Like, the ending was a bit like, with how certain things happened, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I'm going to make this as spoiler free as possible, so yeah. Okay, next one. I'm not going by order, I'm just picking anyone. Next one is Mr. Loverman by Bernardine Evaristo, period. I'm putting that on period. I'm standing on that. It's a 5-star book. Mr. Loverman follows an Antiguan man who is in an affair, a long-term affair with his best friend while married to a woman, and just everything that deals with that. Very narrative, very literary fic, very drama, deals with a lot of issues. It's sad because Bernadine, she's just a bit weird, especially on Twitter, but her books are phenomenal. Like, really good read. I stand on giving this a 5-star personally. Like, I don't think I was smoking dick when I gave this a 5-star, and I read it on audiobook, and I think the narrator was just giving what he was supposed to give. Like, he was gagging the girls, I'm not gonna lie, and I was gagged, so yeah. Next on the list is, let's go with Crying in H Mart. I'm gonna put this as a period. I think I'm gonna stand by giving I'm gonna stand in giving Crying in H Mart a 5-star review, because My ass was so deep in this book that I did not even know it was non-fiction. I thought it was a fiction book until I came halfway through the book and I was like, why is she writing like this? And then my friend told me, girl, that's a non-fiction book. It's a memoir. I said, what? It was so well written. I really enjoyed it. So I need to put it in period. Crying in H Mart is basically, it's about a half Korean, half American girl that follows like her experiences with losing her mom and the disconnect that brings with her culture, because usually mothers are the ones that like pass on culture, and with her mom being the person of color in like between her parents, there's a lot that she loses from that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the book, I still have a copy. It's so mashed up because Crying in H Mart, I think she deserves her 5-star rating. So I feel like, okay, let's go into Honey and Spice. I'm gonna put this in child. I'm gonna put this in child. Only because I feel like I gave it a 5-star just based on like, first of all, by that time I'd only really seen my American mutuals on TikTok review the book and they absolutely loved it. And I think I gave it a 5-star out of obligation, more so to support and push, because I feel like we don't get that much Black British romance books that are hyped. And Bolu Babalola is a phenomenal writer. Like, Bolu's pen game when it comes to romance gives what it's supposed to give. But Honey and Spice shouldn't have gotten the 5-star. I think I should have given it maybe a 4. Maybe a 3.75 to a 4. I think that was what I should have given it. However, because I want to support I'm going to put 5-star on the apps. But personally, I think it's a 3.75 to 4 stars. I think I was being a bit generous with this one when I gave it 5 stars. I think because of like certain bits, like looking back when I was reading it, I was cringed out a little bit. And you guys know I don't really like romance. Like, it takes a lot for me to...
What was that? Okay, James.
Anyway, it takes a lot for me to like romance, so I was a bit like, with the book. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is Dangers of Smoking in Bed. I'm gonna put this in child because I think it's a good... Dangers of Smoking in Bed is a good book, and it did have me fucked up. And like, Dangers of Smoking in Bed does magical realism very well. Essentially, it's a short story anthology that follows like magical realism and really creepy things that happen in a town called San Andreas or something. I can't remember. This might be in the Do You Remember the Time? Because you know what, switch. I'm gonna put it in Do You Remember the Time, because I'm not gonna lie, only 2 of the stories I remember. The rest I don't really remember what's going on. But I remember why I gave it 5 stars, because I was so freaked out. But I think I should have given it a 4.25. Not a 5 star. So I'm gonna leave her in Do You Remember. It's so interesting because I feel like no one's hit Infinity and Beyond yet, and that's gonna be interesting. So the next one is Vagabonds by Alosa. I'm gonna put this in Do You Remember the Time. No, hold on. I'm gonna put this in chill. Not chill. I'm gonna put this in the child category because I don't think I should have given it 5 stars. I don't know what I was thinking when I don't know, when I read it, I was just like, wow, like the way they did, because they did certain bits where like they basically made the state of Lagos into a person, and I think that's very cool writing wise. Like the writing was, you know, but then I'm just like, there were certain bits that were a bit like clunky, and I can't explain what that means or what that looks like. But I just felt like the smoothness that came with reading other books did not come with this one. And usually when I read a book very smoothly, actually no, because I gave Dangers of Smoking in Bed 5 stars and I couldn't read that smoothly either. Well, that's why she's in the child category, okay, period. But yeah, no, there was just a bit of clunkiness that came with Vagabonds. I shouldn't have given it 5 stars. I should have given it like a 4 or 3.75 to 4 stars, or to 4.5. No, that's pushing it, 4.25. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, next one is Kai Abdullah, Truth Be Told, Infinity and Beyond. Infinity and Beyond, that book, guys, I don't really read thriller, but I've read 2 of Kai Abdullah's books. I even have the next one here. This one, Those People Next Door. I'm gonna be reading it in March. Guys, this book, gagged. It deserves, is like, if I could give Truth Be Told Infinity stars, or even any of Kai Abdullah's books Infinity stars, I would give it Infinity stars. This book is so good. So essentially, Truth Be Told follows a young man a student in a private school, and essentially something happens to him, and it follows the main character Zara trying to find the truth and dealing with like the Asian community, homophobia, you know, gender dynamics. Like, it's really, really well done. There's a whole like legal court case thing that also happens in the book, and I read this within a space of 2 days, and I read Next of Kin, her other one, in the space of 1 day. Guys, Kai Abdullah, Infinity and Beyond. That book gagged me. It was just well written. It was easy to read. It felt like I was watching a BBC limited series, and it dealt with so much. It's such a short, it's not a short book, but for the average page numbers, it dealt with a lot and dealt with it well. I felt like as a reader, my hand was held through certain cultural aspects, because of course I'm not a member of the Asian community. So there was a lot I also learnt from that. So yeah, that was like Infinity and Beyond, period. Like, I'm a stand on that. Vanishing Half, I don't remember. I remember the plot, so I've put it in Do You Remember, because I remember the plot, and I remember I gave it 5 stars because I read it on the Eurostar. I was going to France at that time. I think I read it in one sitting. I can't remember why I gave it 5 stars, I'm not gonna lie, but I think because of the dynamicness of it and the things that it dealt with, I guess. I think she's still, technically with what it deals with, I still enjoyed it from what I remember, so I'm gonna leave, it deserves its 5 star category. I don't think it should be dipped, but I don't remember explicitly why in comparison to the others I gave it 5 star. Yeah. Next one is A Freshwater by Akwekwe Emezi. I'm putting that in period. That book deserves its 5 star. It deserves to stay where it is. It was a phenomenal, well written, and it's funny because it was in such a short time. Okay, guys. Okay. Hold on. ADHD. My brain is running faster than my mouth. Freshwater essentially uses African spiritualism, specifically Nigerian spiritualism, to unpack mental health issues, and that's where I'm gonna leave it at. But I'm telling you, this book had me so messed up. I could not even write a review for it. I just gave it 5 stars and I moved on. But I absolutely enjoyed reading Freshwater. I loved how it dealt with the gender, like the spirits inside the character, or the people inside the character. Phenomenal. Just brilliant. But I'm gonna put it in period. I don't think it's Infinity and Beyond. And I know some of you are looking at me like, how can you put Freshwater in period, but you're putting Kai Abdullah, Truth Be Told, in Infinity and Beyond? Mind your business, man. Don't be all in my shit, okay? Thank you. Next one is Small Worlds, Caleb Azuma Nelson. Ciao. I don't think I should have given it. I don't think I should have given it 5 stars. I don't think it was 5 star worthy. I think I was being very, very generous, maybe because I really enjoyed Open Water. Open Water, because I'll put, you know, I'm gonna make a part 2 because I don't want to talk too much about all the books. Let's do this one first and see how you guys react. Yeah, Stephen follows him dealing with like mental health and his like experiences with his like family. Very narrative, very literary-fic. Enjoyed it, but I feel like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I feel like when it comes to male writers, there's certain things that they write about that is meant to be like revolutionary, and for me as a woman who's like experienced a lot of these things already, it's just kind of like, hold on, sorry, I have an email. Oh, Small Worlds, yes. So for me, I felt like there was just some certain things I was like, you're just finding out about this now. But guys, I have a lack of compassion and disconnect to male main characters that I'm trying to work through step-by-step therapy. So I don't want to look down on it because like men's mental health is important, but there were some certain bits I was like, are you just figuring this out now? Okay. I love the fact that it wasn't as flowery as Open Water, but I think I should have given it a 4.25 max, or a 4. Anything between 4 to 4.25. I don't think it should have been a 5 star. Like, it's good, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not, yeah. So, but I loved Open Water, but we'll get into that. My Sister the Serial Killer, child. This was the first book I read this was the second book I read after Luster by Raven Alani 2 to 3 years ago. When I just started my ADHD medication. So I must have read this thinking, wow, this is like the pinnacle of like thriller, like this is so good. And I remember telling someone, oh, I gave My Sister the Serial Killer 5 stars, and the look of disgust they gave me, they were like, what? 5 stars? Is it ever that serious? For my mind, it was a 5 star read, but I'm definitely putting it in the child category because I just should not have given that a 5 star. Like, that is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous, me giving that 5 stars, so it's a no. But My Sister the Serial Killer, basically the name's in the title, follows a young girl who's a doctor, and she's basically covering up her sister's murderers, and it's how long she's going to keep doing it, basically. It was actually good. I did enjoy it, but it's definitely a 3.75. It's not a 4 yet, but it's a 3.75. 5-star was way too generous. Next one was Girl with the Louding Voice, Infinity and Beyond. Infinity and Beyond. What do you mean? Abidare, like, are you... Girl with the Louding Voice essentially follows a young girl who's working as a domestic worker in different places, and I think she's sold from, not sold, but she's like given away because her parents can't take care of her or afford to take care of her. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm out of focus. Because her parents can't take care of her or can afford to take care of her, and it's basically her finding her way to freedom and finding her voice. Guys, this book, again, read it in the space of 2 to 3 days. I don't know why I gave away my copy. I was doing this all like, if I've read it, listen, when I first started, I was trying to do this, don't overconsume, Simi. Sorry, my other name's Simi. Don't overconsume, Liza. You know what I mean? Like, if you've read it, put it in the free library box. I should have kept that shit, because now I'm so upset because I had annotations in it and I gave that book away, and that was one of my best books I think I read in 2022. Absolutely loved it. Infinity and Beyond. So we've got 4 left. 7 Days in June. I mean, if you like it. I'm gonna put 7 days in June in I mean if you like it, because it's not a period. Like, I think it's a 3. No, it's a 4 to a 4.75 star. I don't think it's a 5-star read, because there are some bits that I feel like Williams didn't do well with. Like, there's some other plot lines. 7 Days in June, basically second chance romance, and it follows them falling in love in the space of 7 days in June. Deals with a lot of other stuff. I really like how that was dealt with, but there were some certain bits that I felt like was missing. So for that reason, I'm gonna put her in that I mean if you like it category, because while I gave it 5 stars because I loved it so much, I don't think like in comparison to other people, like if we're going to rate it objectively, it's not a 5-star read. But I still loved it though, and I'm very excited for Love Song for Ricky Wilde, so yes. Next one. Sorry, I'm worried about like my battery running low and space on my SD card running out. So next one. Deepen It. I'm gonna say periods, because this Deepen It is a non-fiction book that delves into colonialism, grime, and anti-blackness, and basically how like grime has become a commodity, but yet, you know, all these other people are making money, but yet the black people, or the black and brown, mostly black people, black faces in drill and grime music are basically being criminalized, and what that means in the British like socio-cultural history. As a PhD researcher working on black women and criminal justice, this book, gobble gobble. If I could put it in powder form and sniff it, I would, because I really, really enjoyed this book. It was such a good read. It was about 100 pages. I'm putting it in period because I think the author really did a good job, and the author is also a musician, so I think it's worth the 5-star read. So yeah, I think she deserves her little 5-star label. Next is You Made a Fool of Death. I'm going to put it in I mean if you like it, because I really liked it, and the fact that this book still has me aggravated to this day is I'm standing on that 5-star. But yeah, she was, You Made a Fool of Death of Your Beauty is basically a romance, like kind of drama book that follows this girl. Basically, hi, I'm Liza from the Future Editing. I realized that the description I gave of You Made a Fool of Death is actually a spoiler, so I'm just going to completely remove it. I don't know how to fit in a good summary, so we're just going to skip that. But I would say, check out the synopsis for yourself. Thanks. Now, for me, I feel like because I liked it, I will stand by it, and because I really feel like when a book gets me aggravated, I read this book last year. If I'm still talking about this book in such detail and I remember everything, I'm gonna leave her with her 5-star read. Would I, in my space of not being as generous as I used to, I'd probably give it a 4.25, not 5-star. Last is The List. I'm gonna put The List in Chow. Only because when I read this book, I understood what it was trying to do, and I think there were other situations that happened in Black British Twitter and like social stuff that was parallels to this book. Essentially, The List is about this young girl who finds out that her fiance is on the list for people who are like harassing women. Basically, engaging in certain negative behavior towards women. Now, it brought up a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of my friends, when I asked them like why they didn't like the book, they essentially said that like they felt like Michael should have done that, but it's like, I don't know, I'm two minds about it, because I feel like I might do a deeper video on the list, but I was two minds about it. I was being generous with the 5-star, to be honest. I should have given it a 3.75 to 4.2, but I have not met anyone else on Book Talk that likes this book, so I'm staying silent with this one. I am acting like I ain't talking about it, because I'm not gonna lie, my followers are gonna cook me for this one. But I was being a bit generous with the 5-star, I would definitely say that. And looking back at it, the ending was a bit like, this could have been done better, this side could have been done better. So yeah, that's the end of my ranking my 5-star read. Thank you for watching. Comment below your thoughts on the ones that I gave that you felt like I was a bit too generous with. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think, what do y'all think about all of this? Okay, if you watch the videos to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and check out my Patreon. So thank you guys, thank you so much for this, thank you so much for coming. I don't want this video to be too long, so peace.